Is it starting?
Yep.
Welcome. Listen, you look so beautiful. I was just looking at your pictures on your website earlier, and I just am so excited about this Women Woman Wednesday because I know you personally, so I know that you are winning. So I'm so excited for you to be able to share your story with us, Lana.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
First Winning Women Wednesdays. Both me and Jessica know you. But we definitely thank you for coming on. We love this episode just because we know that iron sharpens iron, that we can just all encourage each other. And you are doing an amazing, like your business period, but how you connect with your customers and the services that you provide is definitely helping with us and our piece and how we see that. So thank you so much, Lana. We are so glad to have you on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It means a whole lot. Like I think that this is a really beautiful forum and a beautiful space that we can just really just like connect. And like you said, steel sharpen steel, iron sharpen iron. So thank you for thinking of me. I appreciate it so much.
Yes, of course. So like we said earlier, and we were like game planning earlier. We are girlfriends. When we down there, you be on your table and you look ministering to us. We have conversations, we talk about things, and we share things. And I think I sent you a message like in October to say October was actually a year since I had met you at a party the year before.
Yeah.
Yes, and just that day, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But I was so gravitated towards you, and literally, I swear by this woman, y'all. So let me properly introduce you first of all. So this is Lana, and help me say your last name. Syreeta.
So Syreeta's my middle name.
Okay.
But my last name's Williams, so I'm Lana Williams.
Yes. Okay. Syreeta Williams. I knew that. I knew that. Yeah. I did my research, girl. I did my research. Let me get on here. But she is a licensed esthetician here in Washington, D.C. With us. Tasha and I we live in Maryland, but we travel to D.C. to this woman because she makes our wax experience so personal, and it's a healing experience, honestly. For me, it is.
And I leave feeling like a brand new woman.
Yes. So, and not only is she licensed, but she has a luxury spa. We're not going to no nail salon and with the room in the back. It is a whole suite, and she got her bowls and her rocks and her energy and her lights, and it's so her. It's her personality. So we are so excited to just be able to do this with you today.
I'm hyped.
Yeah. So we're gonna get started,
Lana, did you have anything that you wanted to share before we go ahead and get started?
Oh, let's go ahead and get started. I'm excited.
Let's do it. So first, I just want you to tell what your business is. We know, but let the people know what you do, and just give us your story.
So Salteray Wax is a small-minded, high-end wax brand. And so when people hear the term small-minded, it's not, I really mean to say high-minded, small brand. And so when they hear the term high-minded, it's like, well, what does that mean? And it's just that everything centers around a higher level of thinking about how we experience things. So yes, you can go anywhere and get a wax. You can go anywhere and do certain things. But when you come in here, we're on a higher frequency. It's a really important thing to me that women, and particularly Black women, have a different experience with everything. I think all women are worthy of love and adoration and pampering and nurturing. So all women are welcome. It's just as a Black woman, I'm privy to the unique experience of being a Black woman in the country we live in. And, you know, our bodies are policed and we get judged more than other people for little things. And, you know, one of my favorite phrases that I saw on a t-shirt is actually that ghetto is the muse.
Yeah.
And when I think of that, it's like everything that we've done from like our hair to nails to our body shape to the way we do our makeup to all of our creativity, everything is such a muse for other people's inspiration. And when we do it, you know, of course, we get backlash. So for me, creating a safe space for women was important, but creating a specific space for Black women was very important. And so when I worked at a waxing company that's a franchise before I opened Salter Ray Wax. And that experience just showed me that, you know, it's really important that this is a personal experience. It was very quick turnover. You get people in and out, and there's really no room to like create relationships outside of like selling things or, you know, whatever would go on in the room. So Salter Ray Wax came to me, and Salter Ray is actually Latin for salt of the earth. So just coming from a space where I was raised I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I was raised in a very spiritual environment. My grandmother was Southern Baptist. And so, you know, when you look in the Bible, there is a term that Jesus uses about ye being the salt of the earth. And so for me, it's really important that we understand how important that is, you know, like we are the salt of the earth. We are beautiful. We are a part of this thing. We are in flow, and we are just all of these amazing things. And I just wanted to create a different experience. You know what I mean? Like this had to be something different. And I'm a healer by nature. That's what I've always been. And going through my own journey to even knowing I was a healer, you know, I was 20, 20, it was like 23, 24. I've always been different. And we're all unique. We all are special. We all have things about ourselves that set us apart. But I've always been I was a different child. I played outside and I thought I had magic. And like I used to go outside and do this and think the wind was moving because I made it. Like I was one of those kids. And so not knowing where to hone that or how to put that into how to make it make sense in the grand scheme of things it's been a difficult journey for me, you know, because at the time that I came into my awareness of myself and my magic at 20 something, I definitely didn't know how to monetize it because it doesn't feel like something you should monetize.
Right.
You know, so yeah, you want to do everything for free. You want to heal everybody. You want to make everybody feel better. But, you know, with no reciprocity, that's hard, you know. So I spent a good 10 years really just learning about myself, learning about my spirituality. What do I believe? Why do I believe it? Was this a belief that is just mine, or was it given to me? Am I carrying it with me? So all of these things kind of played a role in me figuring me out. And so when I figured that out, I always tell people, like, people always talk about being in their own lane, and that's great. But if you're in the wrong vehicle, the lane doesn't matter. You're just in the lane. And so I had to find my vehicle. And so when I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, in 2012, I lived there from 2012 to about almost 2014. I sold yoni eggs. I sold sage. I started doing energy readings with oracle cards and tarot cards. Like I really, I kind of breathed life into that person, but I was still broken, dealing with a lot of trauma. And my mother had just died, and my girlfriend at the time, she was unfortunately, she dealt with some severe mental health issues, and it just was a bad time in life. But you know, out of that chaos, there's always creation out of chaos. So out of all that chaos, I was able to find myself in that somehow. I right before my mother died, I entered a healing program with Queen Afua. And so
you told me
I
about that.
got my certifications from her. And then my mom died, and then we moved to Atlanta. And so life just was really chaotic at the time. And so still looking for my vehicle. I've always been in my life, but the vehicle just has escaped me a long time. So when I went to Aveda, I went to the Aveda Institute for my aesthetics program, and I did that because Aveda, just their whole ethos is in alignment with who I am, and it resonated with me a lot. And they have really great products. So I went to the Aveda school right down in Gallery Place. Is not there anymore. But I got my aesthetics license, and I was going to be a celebrity facialist. I was like, boom, bet, it's a bet. This is it. And the first job to call me back, I applied for that franchise. I applied there for the front desk. And when I applied there, I just was like, I just want to get into the scene. I want to know what's going on. And in front desk, I got 75 years of customer service experience. I could run this thing with my eyes closed and hands tied behind my back. And so the manager was like, well, you should come on board as a waxer. I was like, that's not my ministry. That ain't what I want to do. I hated waxing in school. So I was like, it's cool. You don't need me back there. Just put me at the front. That's where I shine. And so she was like, you don't have to, you're not married to it. Just come on. And so I was like, well, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm real adventurous. And I really am. Like, I try stuff, just to say I did it. I got stories. And so I did it. And I got in there and I started waxing, and I just was like, oh, wow, this is like healing. It's therapeutic for me because I'm in there and I'm really like, oh man, I can be perfect in here. I can find a space where it is a healthy space to channel the desire, which is human, the desire to be perfect. And so I get in a room with waxing, and I'm like, boom, I can get all these hairs. I can tweeze. I can hone in on it. I pull the tweezers out real quick, and I'll be like, you good? We gonna tweeze.
She'd be like, I gotta get this, just this one. And I'd be like, just leave it.
I can't let that baby hair stay.
I can't let it stay. And sometimes if I can't get it, I'll let it go. But that's another lesson it taught me. Like, it sounds really silly, maybe, but waxing has given me a lot of peace and just another level of awareness of certain things, because I apply certain things to life. If I can't get it, I can't get it, and I leave it. But when I'm in here and I'm like, oh man, I could make this. It's while I'm waxing, you're feeling it, but while I'm waxing, when you lay on the table, I can problem solve. Like, I can just look at the space, like, what's the most efficient way to lay this wax to where I'm not wasting wax, I'm getting all the hair, I'm doing it the least painful way. It's just so many, it's stimulating for me mentally. And so when I got in the room at that franchise and started realizing how satisfying it was in so many ways, I was like, okay. But because of the nature of their business model, it's so impersonal and just kind of like get them in, get them out. And I was like, well, that doesn't work, because some women have trauma. You don't know what women have experienced before they get in your room where you like get naked and get on my table. And some women are nervous, and some women are just like have bad experiences, and like, it's just not a one size fits all type of situation. So I was like, and I'm a horrible employee. There's that. I legit, I got no problem saying it.
I'm with you, girl.
My job.
Yeah, I get in somewhere 2 years, and that's my cap. I can't do it no more. And so I was like, you know what? I ain't doing it no more. And I made a hard date. I set a hard date, February 25th. Is the day I'm opening. And 3 months later will be the last day at that other place. And I stuck to it. And here I am, almost 2 years I'll be celebrating my 2 year on the 25th. So here I am, and that's how I got here.
Yes, I love it. So, I've heard your story before, and so it's so inspiring, because I'm like, when you talk about yourself and your passion for what you do, like, it's not like you don't do it just I know you make good money because look, I pay you, so I know how much you make, right? But you do not do it for that. Like you be in there telling me stuff, and I'm like, how does she even know about that? And why would she even? For an example, let me tell you. Remember, we were talking about maybe right before coronavirus happened, and you was like, "Girl, they out getting eggs and bread. I'm planting. I got me some seeds. I'm trying to grow some stuff." And I was like, "That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart."
Yeah, man. So I'm hella curious about everything all the time. I want to know, and I've been that way my whole life. So with that curiosity, I have a lot of useless and useful knowledge, and it's just I can spew off a few things. Sometimes I don't even remember where I saw it, but like I like to know everything. I want to know things. I'm eternally curious. So that's why.
Share it. And you share it. You're like, look,
Yeah.
you're not pushy. You're not like, this is what it's not conspiracy theorists, but it's like, it's out of the box. You are a very out of the box type person. And that's why I just love you.
Thank you for being.
I was not only, I had trauma, but I'll say waxing trauma. And I told you, like, I had shut waxing down. Like, nope, you got to deal with me. I get the razor bumps. I don't care no more. And I met you at the party, and everybody kept saying, she good, just try. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to go because she gave us a discount because she's at the party, but I ain't buying no packages.
Look, I don't have a lot of packages too, though. Like I don't do a lot of, I have packages. I do have them. But like I literally just want to wax. And I feel like when you get into all that other stuff, it just makes things really, I don't like nothing difficult. I just don't. That might be counterintuitive as an entrepreneur, but I take the easy route. Now I don't take the cheap route. I don't take loopholes. I don't make shortcuts, but I take the path of least resistance because I'm a woman and life don't have to be hard. And I know I talk about this all the time. Like it's no reason that life needs to be super difficult. There are challenges and those challenges change you. But like difficult, no. I
So that's actually a good segue, Lana. So one of your or let us know one of your challenges and what you did to overcome it, even if it was difficult.
Let's see. I'd say so. Okay. One of the biggest challenges I had was getting out of my own way. I know that sounds real general, but excuse me. The realization that you in your own way is like an experience in itself because you go through life and you become accustomed to things being a certain way. You become accustomed to things being difficult. You become accustomed to being finding an obstacle at every corner. And we find it in our conversations with ourselves and other people every day when we say things like, that's just the way it is. Or, like that's a prime example. Even when it comes to waxing, we say, we anticipate like this is supposed to be the most painful thing I've ever done. And for me, I'm a very self-aware person, and I had to transmute that. That self-awareness used to be fear and insecurity. But when I became self-aware of the reasons why I was afraid and the reasons why I was insecure, I was able to transmute that into self-awareness. And so I allow myself to critique myself. I'm always comparison is not the right word, but I'm always measuring myself against my environment so that I can gauge if I'm on track. I'm not trying to do what anyone else is doing, but there's progress, and your own progress. You know where you should be at. And so the biggest challenge was like actually getting out of the way after I realized I was in the way. And when you do that, there are so many things you have to unpack with yourself. And that's not easy. And so my challenge came to me at 31 because my mom died when I was 28. and 31, 32, one of those. What happened was is I got in a relationship with my now wife. And this is when I speak to the true power of love. And I don't mean it in a corny cliche way. I mean like literally the biblical sense of love, like patience, kindness, holding no record of wrong and all of that. Mm-hmm. My wife, when I first met her, she's one of the most, I just ain't never met nobody like her. And I know people say that about their person, but just as a human being, she's a genuinely good person. Like I would be her friend if we weren't together. She's a nice person. She's a caring person, a thoughtful and nurturing person. And when she loves you, her love is vast and it has different facets. So even as her partner, there's the romantic love we share, but then there's all of the other versions of love, you know, agape and eros and all of those other ones, you know. So when you find love like that, and it could be in a friendship too, when you find a love like that, you're untethered from it. And what I mean by that is that you're able to maneuver around in it. It's not holding you in one place. And so in the beginning of us being together, you know, she was friends with her exes, which was
a thing
for me. I was like, so so now you say, okay. But you know, coming from a place of pain and trauma and heartbreak and disappointment, it just never made sense. And she said something to me I never will forget. She said, baby, I love you. And some of the things you're going through right now, I've been through already, so I can't do this for you. And I won't. She held her boundary, which is love. It's love of self. She loved herself enough to say, I'm not about to do this with you. Not this part. But I will love you while you go through it.
Right.
And she did. And she held me and held space for me through that. And I uncovered, it was ugly and it was hard and I cried and, you know, but what it forced me to do, instead of her absorbing my stuff, she held a mirror up for me.
Yeah.
And I was able to, you know, so that was challenging though. That was the biggest challenge that I've had, because a lot of things don't come difficult to me. They don't come hard to me. Part of it is because my mother and my grandmother gave me just like a very ridiculous, unrealistic amount of confidence. And I'm saying that, I'm not saying that in a way I'm not saying it in a negative way or a positive way. I'm saying like, sometimes it works against me.
I know that you're so humble. You're so confident. You're so strong and so like, but you're so humble about it. Like, it's not like intimidating. I don't feel like, you know, why does she act that way? But I love it. You are very confident, and there's nothing wrong with how confident you are.
I had to figure that out though, because it was, my mother would see like Beyonce doing backflips on stage and be like, my baby, you can do that. And I would just be like, I'd be like, I get what you're trying to do. I see what you're doing there, but I can't. Sorry, y'all. Who is it?
We'll come here to Facebook for a second. She had somebody come to her door. Oh, okay. So
I'm sorry. I don't know. It's not after hours.
They knocking on the door.
Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear Lana?
Okay, y'all, hold on. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was actually my wife. That's cute. She popped up on me.
And I was gonna say, and she loved her wife, and she was telling me, look, you're telling me something. I don't even know you went in your phone, you were talking about your mom, and you were gonna show me a picture. And your wife popped up and she was like, and since I'm here, let me just show you this. And when I was telling you that she got tears in her eyes, she was like, I just love her. Okay, let's go on. So I love her.
I do. And I like her. You know, that's important. And so what I was saying was, she just stopped by. She has her best friend with her, so we good. All right, I don't have to do it.
Just talking about you just spoke her up.
but she's a good person and I really like her. And so, but that was the most challenging part of my life in all my 37 years. And I've been through some stuff. That was hard because I didn't have anywhere to project or it all, and I had to work through it and figure it out. And that was hard. And I mean, it was hard because it's like a life or death thing. Cause like, and I don't mean physical death, but like, unless you really unpack that stuff and dig through it, your spirit dies and you just kind of walking through life a zombie. So, that was the challenge. That was a challenge for me, but I have blossomed so much from it, you know, so I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yes. Well, that's so good. Like, you know, again, we know bits and pieces, but like bringing it all full circle is just like filling me up, girl.
Yes, ma'am.
And so when you walked away, so I did mention to you, we have Facebook, so we have people on live, so they can hear you, so they're listening to your story as well. So
great. Hey, y'all.
So I wanted to talk about one thing that you had said and listening to your story and like, you know, where you are in your challenges. And you said it earlier, you know, being in the right vehicle, like you had your lane, but you were in the wrong vehicle. And that's so applicable to so many women because especially now in these times, everybody's trying to get it. They're trying to, you know, grind. People are getting out of that 9-to-5 mindset. They're like, okay, I got to hustle. I'm one of them because I quit my job and I'm trying to figure it out. But it's like, you know, it's so awesome to be able to see someone like you who is an entrepreneur, has your own business, you have a trade, you have a craft. And then not only do you have that, the passion that you have and the story that you have behind it, you know. And for me, that's what a winning woman is. I mean, it ain't about the dollar, it's not about the status or how many followers you have or how many likes. It's about when you're in your lane and in your vehicle, how fast are you going and like and what does the journey look like getting there?
And using your story to propel you. Like you know, we know that we all go through some kind of hurt. And then it's our choice to stay there or it's our choice to keep it moving. And I just love your story and being vulnerable and honest with us and just sharing that. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know, the one thing I wanted to say to your point is what keeps me just in all ways is that something I keep in the back of my mind is like, if you're in your purpose, the provision is there.
I told her you said that to me. Like Lana said, I don't know how I say it again.
Yeah, if you're in your purpose, the provision is there. And it's hard to see sometimes. It's hard because we have capitalism has hijacked the concept of provision and what that looks like. And we think provision is like a Birkin or, you know, like whatever social media is saying right now is, you know, provision. But for me, provision is just being able to stay low key. I come to work. I still come to work every day. It's not me laying or, you know, and I take my time to rest and stuff. But like for me, all I wanted is to work for myself. Whatever the rest of this turns out to look like, I'm not necessarily planning it. And I'm okay with saying that. You know, I'm not an entrepreneur. I think that what's toxic right now in the culture is glorifying entrepreneurship as a celebrity status.
Right.
That's very toxic because people have been entrepreneurs. That's how we got this thing started. This whole capitalism is entrepreneur. And we need to normalize entrepreneurship if we want to attain it. Because if we keep creating celebrity around it, it feels more impossible.
Right.
When growing up for me in Cleveland, everybody around, like that was normal. It was so normal. It's very regular. Even now, as an entrepreneur, it is very regular. I do not see it as like, oh, I'm a boss. And like, I don't see none of that. It's like, no, I just moved the power from somebody else telling me when to come to work to my client telling me when to come to work. I still got a boss. It's my client. You know what I mean? So I think that that's something I just always try to stress to anybody who is seeking out entrepreneurship and to carve their own way is like, make it simple, keep it simple. the rest will come. You'll be able to get it. Whatever you're doing, it will provide for you, because it's like we live in a capitalistic society. So it's you give me this, I give you that, but the provision will be there because you are in your purpose. And like, do not conflate celebrity status with entrepreneurship. It's toxic, it's dangerous, in my opinion.
I know, but that's why I'm so happy you're in my life, because I feel like, you know, again, I'm coming from, I'm a little younger than you. You know, you're not even old by any means. I wish I could see her for real, because y'all don't understand. She's beautiful. When we post this, please look. She got her lip on. She got her red.
I finally got to put some lipstick on today.
I know. And listen, she got her hair done. Her hair. I just love it. So make sure y'all see what she looked like. But, you know, being able to see you in your lane, see how you do things, see how you're professional. Like, I don't think I've ever come to you and had to wait 30, 40 minutes because you took time on your appointment, or literally I'll ring the doorbell and you'd be like, 1 minute, and I hear the person before me coming on out, you know. So, and that's something we, as I say, Black people, you know, it's hard to sometimes support businesses. And I'll be honest, I will spend my money on the Black dollar. I will spend it, but you mess up. I'm also like, I can't talk. Let me tell you about this happen. I had a massage the other day. I would not recommend her to nobody. And I mean, not the massage itself was good, but we got rescheduled. It was horrible, and it was so bad because when she got there, I was like, this massage is so good. I would love to tell people about her, but she didn't show up on time. My appointment was at 6. She got there like 6:25. Like, you can't do that. So, and I say all that to say, when let Wax come up, you need to come to DC to my lady. She'll do it. She on time. Go to her website. I'm not ashamed to send people to your website because it's on point. Like, you know, and again, that's a winning woman. Like, it's
not special touches, Lana. Yes. Like, I don't know if you know, but you were my first. Like, I had never had a Brazilian in my life, right? Eyebrows and underarms, but I did not ever want to touch that. And I saw Jessica as she was leaving out of the neighborhood one day, and she said, "I'm going to get my wax." But she raved about you so much, and I was like, I have to go see what it's about. And everything that she said, plus more. As soon as I walked into your suite, like, your mood was set. But beyond that, Lana, when you send the letters, the follow-ups, and you tell me thank you for the service, and, you know, just that special touch that you have, beyond the amazing job that you do at your waxing and getting all my little baby hairs. But it's
we're gonna get them always.
Yeah, so you are a gem, definitely.
Thank you. The customer service aspect for me is important. My first job was at 13, and my uncle owned a Dairy Queen. He still owns it, and that was my first job, right? You know, and, it was customer facing, but it was still very important. My uncle always stressed to me, just going above and beyond, and he played a huge role in my life. He still does. I'm very close with my uncle, and my uncle was always, he reminded me of like a Hillman dad, you know, like he was like, my uncle was he was born in like 1974, so he was right around the time he was in school and stuff, around the time we had A Different World and those shows. So my uncle kind of was that real life prototype for me of all of those shows that showed us in our best light. So him and all of his friends were super smart. They would stay up late talking about all kinds of stuff. It's the reason why I love politics now, is because of my uncle. And you know, I love politics. I talk about all the time.
She listened to him on the radio.
Yeah, girl, sometimes you might come in here, we listen to the news today. And so, but he was that guy for me. And so he gave me a sense of awareness of like, how do I show up in the world, and what do I want the world to believe about me, and what do I believe about myself, and like, you know, be intelligent. And none of it ever had anything to do with whiteness being the bar. It was, no, this is how you are excellent and Black at the same time. But again, that was very normal in my environment growing up, was just that there's a standard. You don't behave a certain way. That I was raised by my grandmother, who was like 400 years old when I was like 5. You know, she's from Greenville, South Carolina. So I was raised differently than, you know, some people.
Right.
And so what that did for me, having my uncle in my life like that, guiding me through him being a young entrepreneur himself, who was, you know, tackling his own life goals, trying to go to school, and you know, and things shook out the way for him. They did. And Dairy Queen has been, you know, my uncle been at Dairy Queen since he was 15. So, you know, he grew up to own it, and that legacy there is just on its own. But, you know, being from the place I'm from, it doesn't necessarily look shiny, right? It's not draped in a bust down Rolex and stuff. It's like a normal Black man going to work for himself. And, you know, so the bar has always been very high without it being like seeming unreasonable. So customer service has been something I've always done. And I'm a consumer too. I shop, I go places, and I just can't stand certain things. I literally cannot. And it's unfathomable to me to not communicate with your client, not to show them how you appreciate them, not to make sure they're comfortable and they understand how important they are to you. Because my business wouldn't be my business without you.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So some of that stuff is, to me, common sense, but some of it is just like a lack of concern and feeling like you're famous. So you don't have to do certain things.
Like you don't have to do certain things.
Yeah, but for me, it's just like, no, it's regular. And when I hired on my client coordinator, that was the biggest thing. I'm like, we can fix clerical errors, but like, you need to be calling these people, texting these people, stay in constant communication, like answer them when they call, you know, like all of that matters to me. So I'm so happy that you can feel that, because
it is.
I am strict about it, and I don't play about the customer service, because like that's all you have as a business. That's all you got is your customers and what they think, and all it takes is one. All it takes is one. I refuse. I'm trying my best to stay away from that one, you know. But
because you can have 100 positives and that one,
it'll take it down. So I haven't had the one. And hopefully I won't. I'm trying to manage my expectations to be realistic, because you can't please everybody. But I'm very particular about my client base anyway. So all of my I'm referral only. So this is how we keep the ecosystem pure. Is like it's no mess coming in here, because there's no mess coming in here.
Right.
You know, so I'm doing, we're gonna keep it like that.
Yeah. Oh, listen. Listen. I don't know where this will go, but I want you to blow up, and I want you to be awesome. But I'm gonna tell you, I was feeling some type way, because you was like, yeah, I'm like hire, you know, another wax, another assistant. What's the word? Esthetician. Yeah, like I was in here practicing. Look, and I was thinking to myself, I don't know how to tell her that I'm not really
we're not
interested.
going. We're not leaving.
Well, see, that's also, it's been hard. Like, I'm like, who am I hire? I don't know who I'm gonna hire. So like, I'm just gonna be doing this until I figure it out. It's a very, very difficult decision to make, and it will, when the time comes, it won't be made lightly. And that will be a whole vetting process in itself. And I'll probably still take clients who refuse to go to somebody else. So we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out.
You know, we'll talk about that. I just had to throw that out there, letting you know I want you to grow and flourish, and I want there to be hundreds of South Terrell waxes all around the U.S. if that's what your goal is. But I don't need to go there.
I got you. I ain't gonna step away completely, I promise.
No, but We just want to talk to you about one more thing. I know you've been so busy. You've been working probably all day, and we don't want to hold you, but this.
Oh, it's fine. I'm done for it. I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, you good.
So, before we head out, just for women who may be on that entrepreneurial journey or whatever winning looks like to them, may not even be entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
But whatever winning looks like to them, can you just share some encouragement, pearls of wisdom to the winning women community? Because we know our stories are not for us, right?
Yeah,
They are
that's
for us, right? To encourage us.
But before you get started, listen, so again, I got you on live over here. And so it's like a whole bunch of girls over here that I've been already telling about you. Cause like they know I have my best friends, I'm from North Carolina and they live back there. And yeah, I'm talking about you, Megan. I see you on here. So I'm done in college, they went and got waxes like it was like their job. Like how I got my nails done, they got waxes. And I was like, not doing it, right? So now even when my best friend got married, she took us with her and I was like, y'all had that. I don't care. I don't care if you're paying. I don't want it, whatever, right? So now I'm getting these waxes every month. And so me and her talk, like my friend Megan, like almost every morning, or at least once or twice a week, I'll say. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to get my wax today. So now she's like, well, Jessica, we need to plan for me to come up. And when I do, you got to plan an appointment with the wax lady. She's like, so what does her schedule look like? So we planning our schedule around what your schedule look like.
I'm here. My schedule is open. And as you know, I'm actually closing the books on February 28th to new clients that are not referrals. So you guys can always send people my way and reach out, have them text me or text Erica or whatever. Bring them on, because I don't really close. And if I do, it's through clenched teeth that I had to do it. Like with the whole race war and everything that happened in January was very intense.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most I've had to close outside of holidays. But yeah, my books are open. I am adding new services, constantly, tweaking and refining. I think that's important. I just added the exclusive menu that's just for y'all, for my clients, with the guided meditation and sound baths and all of that yumminess. But yeah, my books are open. So
listen, yeah. I'm so excited about the sound bath. Look. Listen, I'm gonna say this one more time. I quit my job, but let me tell you how much I'm invested in you, right? I was telling another lady who's in tea, her name's Lisa. I get a tea, but I was like, I sent her to your website, and so she was like, oh my God, Jessica, she goes sound bath, and I said, well, I haven't had that service yet, but I have a plan that before I get my last paycheck at my job, I'm getting that whole experience. I want the whole sound bath,
the whole thing,
therapy, everything.
I got you. We're gonna get you together. We're gonna make it a nice little situation for you. I got you. Promise.
Put my plug in there, sorry.
I'm gonna bring. I got.
I had to. At least I can get my time. Look. No.
I got you. I promise.
No, look, I jumped in Tasha's question. I'm so sorry. Repeat it. You remind her again what you want to know.
You got it.
Gems.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm a simple woman, so I feel like life ain't hard, and I know that sounds insensitive. I think that's something insensitive maybe to say. It could be, but it's very true. Life is not hard. You're very aware of the things around you and the things that need correcting and the things that are fine, and you know where things go. Mm-hmm. And so one of the most important things for a woman who is seeking herself and her highest divine essence is to be aware of those things. Start taking inventory of yourself. Be honest with yourself when it hurts. It's going to hurt. If you really being honest with yourself, you should hurt your feelings at least a few times. That's the marker of how you know you told yourself a truth. And when you do that, walk in it. Let it be what it is until it's not anymore. I think that we don't experience the fullness of ourselves enough. We only want the highlight reel. We stuck in social media mode. We want everything to be like, oh, I'm up. Everything is up. If it's up, then it's stuck. We want all of that. And it's like sometimes spend some time in your darkness. Spend some time in your pain. Spend some time in your trauma and see what you learn. You can gain a lot from yourself. And there's, it's a beautiful thing that right now what is trendy is motivation and these different memes of like motivational quotes and this, that, and the third. That's awesome. And I don't take that for granted that so many of us need it, and we need it accessible to us so that we can scroll through our Instagram one day and see something on there that sparks a light under you.
Right.
However, that can't be all. It takes some real work, and I have done a lot of work, and I don't even know how to relay that in a way that properly expresses what it's been.
I know what you mean. Like, you gotta read, you gotta be on your podcast, you gotta make yourself available, you got to there's so much knowledge and there's so much stuff out there. And when you begin to, like you say, pull back those layers and realize who you are, you got to do some personal development. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's absolutely that. You gotta be willing, and it's not. It doesn't have any filters or fun quotes. Like sometimes it is just nasty, ugly, and snotty nose crying. And I don't know that women embrace their darkness enough, and it's something that's very taboo. But I appreciate the times when I don't feel my best, because that's the most honest you can be. It's like, honestly, no, I'm not feeling it today. And and breaking through your own barriers with that level of honesty allows you to see things through a different lens, and you're able to kind of move with clarity. And when you move with clarity, the results of what you're moving in are clear. There's not a lot of space for mess, because you've kind of sussed it all out. You know what I mean? So that's something. And also, I tell my little sisters this all the time: do what the hell you want to do. And when I say that, I don't mean like everything that exists is made up. And like this phone, somebody was like, you know what, we should be able to talk to each other on the phone face to face. Somebody made it up. My tracksuit is made up. Your hats are made up. And I know it seems real simple, but like, if that don't tell you you can do whatever you want to do, you literally can do whatever you want. It don't matter. Somebody gonna like it. Somebody gonna want it. It's for someone. You have to be comfortable with the fact that it's not for everyone.
Right.
Because that's the thief of progress. It's feeling like you gotta be for everybody. I'm not for everybody. What I do is not for everybody. And that is the beauty of it. I don't have everybody coming to see me. That's okay. There is so much out there. There's 7 billion people on the earth. You can make something that somebody wants. You have to, but you're not gonna know unless you're honest with yourself in the beginning. Entrepreneurship is an extension of who you are. And so if your business feels like it's, falling flat, or it's not really doing what you wanted to do, you have to like step back with yourself, like, well,
what am I doing or not doing?
Yes. And so honestly, that's really it. I hate to use buzzwords, but like authenticity, being authentic and organic, and just letting things be what they are, and being very fluid. Those are just, I live by that. I live a low stress life. I don't worry about money. It's not like there's not plenty to worry about. It's just that I have a choice on how I experience it. So God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's coming from an AA baby. Both my parents were addicts. And so I grew up with my mother taking me to NA and AA meetings. So there was just a very different awareness of those things for me. And like the serenity prayer gets me through so much because I literally can't control everything. I just can't. I come in here and I control this, you know, and I control my heart and I control my thoughts. But even when those get out of whack, I let it happen.
Right.
And I come back to center. So I think I don't have a whole lot of, you know, bells.
But that was good. What you mean you don't have a whole lot? That's a whole lot. I'm sitting over here like, wait, I gotta say this about this. But you know, like what you said at the beginning, you know, as far as let your feelings, you know, be raw, you know, be authentic, be vulnerable. And it's kind of ironic because we have a business called Peace Bridge Consulting. And so we're helping people on their journey to peace. But sometimes on that journey, it gets dark. It gets really dark, especially like you said, when you begin to really look within and, you know, just on the look, for me personally, when I look back on my life, I'm like, dang, you know, if it wasn't for what I believe in, grace and mercy, where would I be? Like, because, you know, I could, like the Bible say, be the borrower and not the lender. Like there's so many things in life that I have to just be so thankful to God that He, you know, saw me fit and had favor on me, because it could have been a different way. But even then, I'm so blessed, but it still gets so dark. And so being able to see a working woman like yourself say, I go through those things too. I have bad days, you know. We only see a snippet on Instagram or Facebook. Like, you're only seeing what people allow you to see. And sometimes people aren't, and your page is a business page. And even on there, you're vulnerable. You're like, today wasn't a good day, but I just want to dance. Like, you put your music on and and I mean, I be sitting in my house like, I ain't having a good day. Like, I just feel off. Like, nothing's bad, and I'll be like, you know, let me do a Lana. Let me just put my music on.
And music, bust that two-step out, and shake it off. And that's what you
need, the energy. It does every time. So, again, you know, that's so full. Like, you don't got nothing else. Like, we could drop some mic here because that was so good. But, and even the other part of what you said, you know, it's just so much in life that we could be worried about and could choose to want and desire. And, you know, social media and these things that, you know, in our hand, you know, and I commend you for y'all who don't know, or you should look at her page, but she went to a flip phone. Like, she was like, I'm not doing this cell phone jazz no more. It's taking over my life. Like, I just need to disconnect. And so I say all that to say, you know, when we're looking at this phone, and I know why you did it, because there's so much information and there's so much stuff coming at you. It'll make you
much, and it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy.
Yes.
We are all slightly psychotic because we have, it's so many opinions. Oh my God. It's so many things that just, I don't even, in hindsight, I'm just like, damn, I've been really stuck in this for a long time, longer than makes sense. Like, I've gotten to the point now where like selfies, for me, selfies don't make sense. Because that's not even real.
Yes.
It's not a candid moment. It's not that you was like, somebody caught you in mid chew or something. It's just like, no, and
the filters.
Yeah,
I want to have a cancel filter culture. Like, we need to hashtag cancel filters, because I'm over it. Like, yeah, I mean, my skin is not clear. I put some makeup on for today, but you look at my pictures, like, they be ugly. My edges ain't nothing. Like, my lightness, typically we got a light there, just preparing for this, but lighting don't be good, but it's natural. And I'll tell you, that's not the thing, because we've been so brainwashed to believe that you gotta have the lashes and the beat down and the extensions and all these things that are not authentic. They're not who you really are.
And they never will be. It's hard. It's really hard to look at perfection every day and not be affected by it. And that's another honest conversation we got to have with ourselves, because I hear so many women be like, everybody's so apathetic and unbothered. And that's not normal. That's not healthy. It's not a good thing. It's not cute to be unbothered. Like, stuff bothers me. I get my feelings hurt. I care about what other people think sometimes. Like,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with those things. It keeps you in order. And,
Yeah.
and in a way that you're clear on how you feel about stuff. When you keep saying I'm unbothered, I don't care, like whatever, they can do whatever, I don't see nothing. It's like you shut off your wellspring to yourself. You don't know what you feel because you don't care about nothing. I care about stuff. There's things I don't care about, but I
Yeah.
do care about stuff. I care about I care about the state of the world around me. I care about politics because they impact me. I care about things. And some of it's like negatively affecting me and some of it's positively affecting me, but it all is for the betterment of me.
Yeah.
And so even with our images of ourselves, it's not normal to be exposed to. When we see ourselves, we're supposed to gain a sense of self from our community, our village, our tribe. And that's usually at first it's your community, right? Where you grew up, the people around you. As you age, unless you are like a mega millionaire like Beyonce and your job is to travel the world and be exposed to all these cultures, but the bigger you get, you see people minimize their circles and their access and their exposure. Why is that? Because it's too much. I just want this. This is what keeps me grounded. So I had to get rid of all of that. And if you've seen even my business social media, it's just like a post a day, and it's like never really me. I talk through the stories and stuff, but like it's never really me, because like I'm just me. Like
You Lana, I love it. You Lana.
just me. So I like to talk about stuff. So I be talking, but like I wait till people come in here and we have like real conversations. Like we talk, but to me, that's the beauty of it. Like those moments are special to me because I go home and tell my wife like, "Oh, girl, let me tell you today." Like and then sometimes my clients share very personal things, and I am so happy I get to hold that with me. My wife don't know everything I talk about with my clients because y'all trust me with things. So like I feel like very honored to be the vault.
But listen, I don't trust a lot of people with my lady parts, right? So like it's not like people just out here every day. So I feel like if I'm sharing this with you, I can share my hopes and dreams and thoughts and my feelings at the moment. Because I mean, you be snatching them. It might be like 15 minutes, but in that 15 minutes, it's so fulfilling. And so I just love you and everything that you stand for. And even going back to your wife, I told you when y'all got married, I'm not one of your best friends. Like we don't text every day, but when I have your time, I have your time. It's like interrupted and we talk. And so we learn about each other, and knowing the little bit that I knew about you, and you only shared like a little bit of your wedding and your pictures. And I was like, I said, oh my God, I don't know that much about her, but this so her, like how you did your wedding. You were on the mall. It was just you and your wife. And I guess the officiant was there. And
the photographers.
Y'all were just Lana. And what's your wife's name? Well, you have to share that. You have to share that.
Evie. Her name's Evie.
Okay. But it was just y'all. And I just loved it. Because it was so you. And that's really what I love about you. You're so genuinely you. And it shows in everything you do, your work, when I come into your space, when you're online, your social media is like, keep being you because you are just so awesome.
Thank you for seeing me. I appreciate that.
I love you. Yes.
Absolutely.
You want to go? You want to close us up?
Let's see, Lana. Again, this has been amazing. I've been sitting here, and I mean, everything across the whole episode tonight has been amazing, Lana. And hopefully, what we are doing in this space and building this community is that we are letting others see our true selves, right? Because that's when you really get to the root of it, and when you find that, then we can help others, and that's why we're here. So we thank you so much for coming along and being our first Winning Women Wednesday guest.
Thank you for having me. This was beautiful.
Yes, and so we are so excited to launch this journey and like I'm gonna be seeing you. I'm gonna keep you posted, and like I just want us to stay connected, and that's what this is all about. Like your referral base is going as long as I'm getting waxed, and as long as I'm here, I'm be sending. Even if I'm not here, I'm be sending people your way if they in the DC area. And I know that you were so supportive. Actually, how I met you, you were supporting another client at one of their events, and so. I just want us to stay connected, and I want to be your client, but we already friends, but like just your close
Girl, your waxer is your best friend. I don't care what nobody say. I done seen everything, and so that's what that is.
Yeah.
You can let your Facebook, your audience on different platforms for today, just let them know that if they want to schedule, if they schedule this month, they get 15% off. And they could just put in the code Cole and Treese. Let them know. And so just text me and
that is a joy. Let me tell you.
All they gotta do is text me. All they gotta do when they text is mention that.
Okay.
And so the number to text will be 202-991-7925.
We got that number.
Okay.
We got that number.
Yeah, that's Erica.
We will definitely go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's Erica. So text Erica. I'm gonna let her know because she don't know this yet. But just so let them know. Yeah.
Okay, we sure will. Yes.
So we'll have that information. We'll have it. Then we'll have everything, all of Lana's contacts down in the description where you can find her, how you can get in contact with her. Go check my girl out. She is listen, I told y'all she was my first. I wasn't even scared when I walked in there, y'all. I didn't know what to expect. But when I walked into her suite, trust me, y'all, she is everything. So hit her up. And as she said, 15% off this month, but on the 28th, she is closing her doors to new clients. So if you want to get in with Lana, by our referral, because we in there. Make sure y'all do it before the 28th of February, Love Month. And if you like what we're sharing, we invite you all to come on this journey with us. We're going to continue this so that we can build our community of winning women, of mothers, of just a community of love and peace. So like us, you can subscribe. You'll get the notifications when we come on. If you want to tell a friend, share us, and we will definitely be in this journey together, increasing your peace with Cole and Treese.
All right, bye. I'll see y'all soon, baby.
All the way through, but I've been interrupted.
I seen your face several times, like
Say it again.
I seen both of y'all looking both times, like cutting them eyes over the corner. I was like, somebody nerve.
We was praying. We was like, Lord, please don't let them come in here and interrupt. And they did so good. They waited to the end. So that's a win. We won.
Y'all winning women.
Yes.
This was really cool. Thanks for having me, y'all. I really appreciate it. That was really cool. And if y'all need me to do anything else, let's get to it. I'm with it.
Do it. On your way home.
All right. I'll see y'all soon.
Okay. Bye, girl.
All right, babies. Bye-bye.
Bye, honey.